Hello and welcome to the Illinois Association of Park Districts Parkcast. I'm Wayne Utterback, Director of Communications and Digital Content, and today I'm very pleased to be joined by Dan Jones, Executive Director of the Cary Park District. This year at the Soaring to New Heights Conference, Dan was the recipient of the Honored Professional Award, and I'm very pleased to have you join me here today to talk a little bit about that, Dan.
All right, thank you, Wayne, and pleased to be here and appreciate the invite.
Now, first off, I just always like to ask, what did it feel like to be at the awards luncheon and then suddenly hear your name called?
Well, it was surprising, that's for sure. We had a lot of people that attended from our agency this year. We actually had a couple tables. I think some people were under the impression that we were getting a facility award, and so we had more attendees. Usually we have a table, but this year we had two. So it was neat to be there, and of course very surprising to hear your name called.
Now, what was your overall experience at conference?
I thought conference was great. I had attended the National Park and Recreation Conference earlier in 22, and notice when you were there that I believe all the hotels were sold out for that. I believe the conference registration was maxed out. And that should have been an indicator that this year's, IPRA IAPD conference was going to be super well attended. My guess is it's just a bounce after COVID. These are the type of things that people weren't able to do in person. I think there's a desire, especially with what we do, being very social with networking, that people would have a desire to come down there to the conference in force to see their peers who maybe they hadn't seen for a few years. And so I thought there was a great energy there this year and really enjoyed it. I've probably been to nearly 30 conferences, and I would say that this year I just felt there was a tremendous energy, and I even heard feedback from our team and our staff that they enjoyed it as well for the same reasons.
Now, speaking of energy, what does winning this award do for you? I mean, obviously you're not doing this for awards, but does it give you an added push to keep doing what you're doing?
So that's a good question. Really, when I think about this, I really think of this as more of an hour than an I type of an achievement or award for the Cary Park District. The hour being all the people that we work here with together as a team. I try to reflect that in some of the remarks that I was able to give up on the stage, is that we really have a wonderful team here at the Cary Park District that works well together. We are not a big agency. We're not small, but we're not big. But we have a really dedicated group here that works well together, works as a team, and is able to do amazing things. And that includes, of course, our Board of Commissioners, who provides us the vision and the guidance, but really the staff too, and I mean all the staff, all the way down to our seasonal part-timers, all the way up to our full-timers, really work together as a team. And I was excited for all of us to see the Cary Park District up there getting recognition. I think it's important for all of us. Absolutely.
It's always a team effort. It's always a joint project. There's nothing you can do alone, especially when you have a great team behind you. So now, one of the things I heard mentioned during the presentation of your award is that you're a firm believer in continuing education. How important do you feel is it for a leader to kind of continue learning, continue evolving?
Well, I will tell you what, I'd say continuing education, and also just being an involved person in this field and our profession that we are a part of. I go back to when I first started in the field. I was encouraged by my mentors at the time to become involved at whatever level you could, whether it was joining a committee, attending committee meetings of IPRA, or joining something like SPRA, but to meet other people, the networking that is out there. It's certainly, from a continuing education standpoint, important to stay up on trends and directions for others to share their insights as to where things are going. And you're missing a lot if you are not a part of, if you're not making yourself available to those things or taking part in those opportunities that are there, so that you can continue to grow as a professional, both on the objective side, which would be the educational side, but also the subjective side of just meeting with peers and networking. I think it's so important and would always encourage others to do that going forward, young and old professionals.
Absolutely. Now, going back toward the team effort discussion, another thing that was mentioned in your narrative, the description of your award, was that you've led your agency through 2 comprehensive master plans. So I just wanted to ask, how would you describe that process to somebody who might not be directly involved in it? What goes into that, and how do you prepare one of those?
Well, anybody that's gone through a master plan process kind of knows the basic tenets of it. I serve on the Distinguished Accreditation Committee, the Joint Distinguished Accreditation Committee, as an IPRA representative, and a comprehensive master plan for an agency is one of the core tenets that an agency has to show that they have done within the last 10 years. And so why is a comprehensive master plan, or what's involved with it? I mean, a comprehensive master plan is a intense, deep dive discussion into what I'll say are the needs and wants of a community and a board, and also input from staff as to what the longer term direction of an agency is. And how do you accomplish that? Well, you accomplish that with the community through certainly talking to the community, through surveys, needs assessment, focus groups, and individual meetings if necessary with your board. You have planning workshops and discussions, and you do the same with staff. And after you collect all that information, you pull it back together, and then you do a deep dive and breakdown into, what things rise to the surface as to importance. One thing we talk about here that I'm sure many of our peers in the field can relate to is that there's always going to be more projects than there's ever going to be amount of money, amount of time, or amount of labor to get those things accomplished. And so you have to prioritize. And so you have to have a system, and the comprehensive master plan helps you sort those things out in order to determine where the vision will be and what things will be important to undertake. So here at the Cary Park District, yes, we've done 2 of those since I've been here. The last one of which, I think for our agency, if you ask people here, they would tell you that we did a very good job with it in terms of outlining what we were going to be capable to do financially, but also what the priorities were of the agency. And since 2016, I believe we've done over $20 million in capital improvement work to this agency. But all of that was outlined back when we put the plan together as to how we were going to attack that over the next 10 years. And we really did an exceptional job with that, again, as a team, everybody focused, everybody pulling on the same end of the rope. And we've been able to accomplish a tremendous amount in really what's a short period of time in Park District time is what I call it. So.
Absolutely. Now, in the parks and recreation field, one of the things you hear a lot about is how passionate everybody is who's involved with it, whether it's on the professional or the volunteer side, whether it's an executive director or a commissioner. What would you tell somebody who's thinking about entering this world of parks and recreation, either as a professional or in some sort of official capacity?
So I think one thing that seems that you hear when you speak to others that work in other fields or other professions that maybe come into the Park District realm, is that they're very surprised with the cooperation and or willingness to assist peers and others when it comes to things like information. So it's very common, in our field that if you have a question about something or you're embarking on something that you haven't done as an agency, to simply reach out to your peers to, see what they've done in that area. And I am always, I guess surprised isn't the right word, but I guess I'm always blown away a little bit by you send out a request for some information regarding a certain topic to maybe 7 or 8 people, or maybe you send it out to a blast, via one of the committees that's out there, and the amount of people that are willing to respond with their time and their talent and what they've done to assist others. So someone who is looking to come into this field, I think it's very different. There are people who have a lot of passion for it. And I think it's a very giving field, meaning people give of themselves in terms of their time and talent to, their program areas or their facilities or how they lead an agency. And I think that shows itself in many ways here. And it's different. You're definitely not alone when you do something like this. There's a whole network of people, both in your agency and outside your agency, that want you to be successful and want your agency to be successful.
All right, that's a great answer. Absolutely feel like that hits the nail on the head. I just in my time being involved with meeting so many different people in the parks and recreation world, the networking is so important, but I'm always just impressed by the exchange of knowledge, the willingness to help somebody out who's dealing with a problem that you've potentially solved previously, things like that. I mean, it's always just been incredible to see that camaraderie and that sort of connectivity that all park districts share. So that's always just an incredible thing, especially at a conference when you can just see pockets of people getting together and just talking and just discussing what they're working on, and it's really incredible to watch.
Yes.
Now, now I have one last question for you.
Sure.
What's one thing you'd want people to know about the Cary Park District if you were to be met with somebody who's never been there before?
Wow, one thing that people would want that I want people to know about the Cary Park District. You spoke here before about the passion of people that are in the field. I certainly think that comes through when you work with any member of the Cary Park District, whether it's a board member or even our seasonal staff, that people here really care about what it is that they're doing and how their work contributes to the overall success or overall product that the Cary Park District is and how it's viewed. I think that's important to people who are here. I think the other thing I would say about the Cary Park District is that we want to use the term of almost like we keep our word. So if we say that we are going to do something, we do everything in our power to follow up and follow through on whatever that is. And that could be from a phone call that's received at the front desk where somebody has a question and our team member there says, I don't know the answer to that, but I am going to get it to the person who does know the answer, and that person will get back to you, that there is follow through. And I take that from that point all the way up to what the board does when the board says, hey, we're going to listen to what the community says, and then we're going to implement it. And I think that on a board level or a higher level, that can really be seen, tying it back to our master plan that you spoke of earlier, is that the board listened to the things that the community wanted and then devised a plan in order to meet those things and bring those things to the community. So I think when you work with the Cary Park District, or something I would want people to know about it, is that we are people of our word, and we work hard to keep that and follow through on things positively.
All right. Well, Dan, I got to thank you for taking some time out of your day to just sit and talk with me a little bit about not only your award, but the things that you guys are working on over at the Cary Park District. And I commend you for all of your hard work. I'm always happy to see folks get recognized for that hard work. And I know you've got a great team over there. So thank you so much for just sitting down and chatting with me a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Wayne. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thank you.